Mac,
What's good?
welcome to the Civil Tune.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm lit to be here.
Yeah, good. First, I want to ask, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Well, it definitely is a pleasure to have you. So I kind of just want to get right into it. Who are you? Where are you from? And how did you get into music?
Okay, so I'm Mac. Making art, creating knowledge. Some people know me as Mackenzie. But I was born in New York, lived in DC, DMV area for a little bit, then moved to Texas in '06. And I'm low-key not local to Denton, but I went to high school at Byron Nelson High School in Trophy Club, Texas, so it's like 25 minutes away. Graduated, had my graduating ceremony here, so went to Tyler Junior College, been around the place a little bit. But yeah, mostly here, so from here. And how did I get into music? I actually have been always wanted to do music since I was a little kid. I was a little kid. I asked my mom for a piano at 5 years old. She bought me one. Still can't play it.
Right.
But I've always sang. I've been singing in choir, like school and church, like for as long as I can remember. I love singing. I used to like rap with my uncle. My uncle made music too. He used to rap and make beats. I actually use some of his beats still to this day. He's pretty cold. But I was just around a lot of creative outlets. My grandmother was an artist. A whole bunch of stuff. And then when I was about 10 years old, this is lame. I was 10. I was watching Camp Rock. To tell you how old I am real quick. I was old watching Camp Rock. And I was like, I want to make music. So I was like, I wrote my first song. And I've been writing songs since I was 10.
Yeah.
I was a closet songwriter till I got to college. And one of my friends was like, bitch, why are you not making music? And I was like, I don't know, because I'm not that girl. I do slam poetry. I don't do the music. And they were like, nah, this is all, because I wrote a rap, like, and it's still out. It's on SoundCloud, but like, it's under a different name. I don't really want people to know what it is. Y'all find that hoe, but I ain't finna tell you what it is. But yeah, my first song ever, I actually performed it at PJ. That was the first time I ever performed one of my own songs in person.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and that was it. 2019, my first time going to a studio. Been making music since then. I love it.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So, like, you know, when you're referencing PJ or Poetic Justice back in 2019, I was actually there to see you go from, you know, like performing one of your songs for the first time into where you are today.
That's crazy.
And like, I can just tell there's been so much growth there. Like, I feel like you're more confident now, maybe as a person and as a composer.
Yeah.
So it's real interesting. And I know we were talking before the podcast, and you said that you had other creative outlets.
Oh, yeah.
So what other creative outlets did you consider, and then how did that shape your music?
So I've always been an artsy kid. Like I just said, I was always around a whole bunch of creative stuff as a child. I'm not no Picasso, but I do paint. I've done cover arts for people, logo designs for people. I know there's a couple of people that have like clothing brands that they've paid me to do their logos for them.
Wow.
I've made, I think with the exception of my previous mixtape, I made all of my own cover art.
Really?
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I know I'm trying to think. Outside of that, I also I don't know if you know, do you know who Evan is? Evan Jones?
I believe so.
Do you know JT Troyal?
Oh,
JT?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I know they do their videography stuff, but I used to basically live with them, so I was always doing stuff. I was always around like that. So I've directed a couple of music videos for them, done treatments and stuff.
Wow.
I've done script writing before. I've written and directed an entire play. I did that my senior year of high school. It was fun. So I'm a writer. I write scripts. I ghostwrite for people. I paint. I do graphic design. I build things. I used to build sets for different shows and stuff. I'm event coordinator. I have a show that I'm putting on right now. I got to figure out how to pack 800 people in there. But it's going to be a nice show. It's going to be a big ass show. I'm really excited about it. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I do resin stuff. I be making dominoes and shit.
Wow.
I do hair because my mom used to do hair. whole bunch of stuff. And I honestly, like, I feel like for me, all of those things can be used toward what I want to do, because nowadays, with the way the world is, social media, just like how much access we have to knowledge and stuff, it's like it's really a matter of who want it the most, because the information's there. So it's like at the end of the day, it's like you have all these resources, or who's using them.
Right.
So it's like you either have the money to pay somebody who's using them to do it for you, or you do it yourself. And usually you have to start off doing it yourself till you got the money to pay somebody to do it. So every time I learn a new skill or a new hustle, it's just like, how do I apply this to my life? How do I apply this to my life? How can I make this work for me? How can I make this craft work for me? So it's just, I just learn how to do as much stuff as possible. I love learning. I'm weird, like I like school. I love learning.
Yeah.
So it's, every time someone's like, I'll teach you, shit, teach me.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning how to engineer myself right now. Because paying for studio time is expensive. But paying for good studio time is expensive, and it matters when you care about the quality of your music.
Right, and you know, that's something I've definitely noticed, like, it has been a switch just in regards to music, is that, like, more and more people who are getting into music have to pretty much do it all. Like,
yeah.
I remember personally, like, you know, coming up in high school and stuff, you know, me and my friend was recording, we was getting studio time, like, $10 a studio session, which is
peanuts.
Exactly, but the quality, like you said, wasn't the greatest. And you know, at one point we was just like, you know what, we just got to learn how to do it ourselves. And so, like, you know, people are very talented, and like it's good to see people wanting to learn these skills and master them. So, you know, going back to all your creative outlets, what made you choose music?
Honestly, I always tell people I do a lot, but I'm a writer before I'm anything else.
Okay.
And that's my favorite form of expression for my pen.
I see.
Is writing. Poetry is right up there with it. I love performing. You asked me my two favorite things to do is probably perform and it's probably perform and record. Like as my two favorite things I love to do. And it's the way I like the emotion that goes behind the music. It's like words on a piece of paper can move somebody, but when you got to put the emotion behind it, it's like adding color to a black and white picture. So it's just like, oh yeah, this is it. It just does something for me. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't really see myself doing anything else. Like I've thought about it, cause like, not to toot my own horn, but I'm smart as fuck. I could have did anything I wanted to do. Like I don't have any like issues. I ain't never been arrested or anything.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you know, I ain't never actually like had no issues that would stop me from choosing any career path that I wanted to go on. So I was like, I don't really. I've always been smart. Like I graduated with a 3.7 GPA in high school and then didn't go to class. Like I finished basically my associate's degree in 3 semesters, like working a full-time job and taking 20-hour semester. I was taking 7 classes. Like I was doing a lot. I was a student senate, doing a whole bunch of shit. School's been easy for me, so it was like I could have did whatever, but I didn't want to do something that I hated. Like I was like, I could do anything I want. Okay, so why the fuck would I voluntarily do something that I hate doing?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like it may be a little more challenging to choose this path, which it is, because there's plenty of other outlets I could do that would probably make me way more money. But it's like I don't want to do that.
Right.
Like, you know, I want to put all my time and energy into what I love. So
yeah,
I do.
And I think it's important for people, you know, who are listening to this of all ages and backgrounds, is that to have that confidence that you have and to have that faith that you have, because I mean, faith, consistency, and hard work is the key to pretty much everything, you know, if we're looking at just a balanced playing field.
Yeah.
So I think people should definitely have that confidence that you have, because I mean, I feel like it's going to serve you well. It definitely has from what I've seen.
It's
so
like 30% confidence and like 50, like and like 80%. I know I said 80. That's not real math. 70%. 70% drive and like honestly like ambition, because like you it's not always easy.
Right.
You can get tired of doing that shit. Sometimes you don't want to actually like get up. You'd be like, damn, I have to go to the studio. Damn, I have to do this. Damn, I have to do that. And it's like, okay, but you're working toward a greather goal.
Exactly. And nobody ever said the path was going to be easy.
Nobody told me.
So how did these other creative outlets shape your music?
Shit. I mean, they really just They kind of, I look at life weird, so it's like I always compare things to each other. Like, I like using metaphors for things.
Interesting.
So I feel like everything that I learn, every new outlet is just another metaphor for me to paint a picture with my words. So it's like if I'm talking to somebody and I have to, for example, like if when I was learning how to engineer, I was comparing a lot of it to videography and photography because I already understood that because I've been around it so much. And so he was trying to explain to me the way stuff is like broken down into like smaller pieces, and he was like trying to explain to me, like, it was a term that he used, and I was like, oh, so it's like pixels. And he's like, yeah, but it's sound. I said, so it's like sound pixels. So it's like the higher the number, the smaller the more pixels there are, the more detail you have, the more freedom you have to manipulate it. He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool, that makes sense in my head. Like, that was fine. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's like when you learn a new language and you learn another language that's like similar to it, and it's like, for example, like some Spanish words sound like some English words.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, I know English, so I know that this means this. Cool beans. I know what that is. It's like the same thing. Like, I feel like all art is transferable. Same thing with like, even dance, like even when I did dance for a little bit when I was in high school, I counts, because I was so like with music, keeping rhythm was never an issue for me. I was like, oh, I bet, cool beans, I can do this. I pick up choreography really easily because I did theater for so long, and memorization is really easy for me. Like the fact that I'm able to perform so well is because I was a theater kid. Like I used to being on stage and performing. It helped me get over being nervous in front of people. Like doing choir helped me get over being nervous singing around people, but it also made me know that it's okay. It's better to sing confident than bad than it is to sing timid and bad. Like, because it's gonna sound bad if you're not singing all out. So it's like little things that I pick up along the way. They just all takes a village. Like essentially, like it takes a village.
Yeah.
And like I have this little art village and shit that just helps me do music. That's how I feel
that's
about
interesting.
it.
I like how you said that art is transferable, because if we just take like a different angle at that phrase that you just used, it's like, you know, what do you remember about the Egyptians, right? What do you remember about the Greeks? You remember their art and the things that they made and maybe
things
the
they
music.
left behind.
Yeah, exactly.
It's timeless.
Exactly. And you know, art is such a vital point of what it is to be human, because it is so much is explained yet can't be
It's like
explained.
a fingerprint that you leave behind.
Yeah, exactly. And so like that's an interesting you know, thing that you said, and I'm gonna have to steal that from you, Mac.
That's okay.
So I want to get into your journey. So how has your journey been, and where do you want to go?
Oh man, it's been rough. I'm not gonna lie, like right before COVID, I was doing a lot of good things, like with my music. I was like really starting to like go hard. I found my little rhythm. I found my little pocket. I was booked to do like 6 shows that year, and then COVID happened and all of them got canceled, and my money was not doing what it was doing. I lost my job. They laid me off. I was working for a leasing office. I was working for a leasing office out here in Denton actually, and like they said they hired me full time and they didn't, and I ended up losing my job, and I lived where I worked. So, and like the way they had it set up was like our rent would come out of our check automatically. They laid me off 3 days before the 1st. So I didn't have my rent money.
Wow.
And I was like, y'all knew that y'all were doing that. They gave me 3 days notice.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it took me like 3 weeks to find another job. Started working at CVS across the street from campus. I was like, okay, then I gotta figure something out. So I just touched gum. That's gross. I don't know. I did that. It was rough. So I had to really shake back, get my stuff together. But I really took the pandemic to kind of like hone in on my sound, because like I was still really new. Like I just, my first time being in the studio was 2019. Like, so I was still really new. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this time to really like get in my bag. I was going through some things, try making music with some different types of people, because all the engineers weren't available because of social distancing. But I had to really find myself, experimented with some new sounds, gave up on some things that just weren't working for me. And my hardest thing on my journey though is being true to myself. Because I feel like with the way music is today, especially being a black woman, especially being a black woman like that does hip hop, like it's like I feel like there's this image that's expected of us, and I don't fit that image. So it's like for me, it's like I'm really tomboyish. And I also feel like there's like a double-edged sword with that, because it's like because I'm tomboyish, they expect me to be gay, and it's like I'm not. No disrespect to anybody that is. Hey, you like what you like, do what you want, but I like some men. So I be like, yo, like I know I dress real comfortable and I'm laid back and shit, but I don't like girls. So they feel like they have to put me in that box. Then they feel like they have to fucking tell me that, no, well, then you should dress up. Why don't you do this? Where's your lace at? Like, I'm like, sis, if I want to be a bad bitch, I can, but that's expensive and uncomfortable, and I just don't care enough. Like, this is me. You could take it or leave it. So, but I do get a lot of that, actually, and sometimes it does bother me, because I'd be like, damn, if I really, I just know for a fact that if my titties was pushed up to my neck, that I would get more likes on this post. Like, I was like, it's like, damn, like, unfortunately, like, that's just reality. That's what sells. So it's just like staying true to myself. And for me, I feel like it's more important for me to do that because it's true to me. So it's like if I were to put on this front for other people that this is what I am, it would burn out eventually. That's why you have artists, celebrities that burn out halfway through their career because they're putting on this image it's not them. And then they hit a wall and it's like, I can't keep doing this shit. So, I mean, I feel like it's done pretty good. Going pretty good with the journey. We're still learning, always getting better, always growing. And I'm just trying to go. I'm trying to go all the way if I can. But I always tell people I'd be happy if I could sustain myself doing what I love. I don't have to be a millionaire. No, if I am, then but I don't have to be. I could be making, like, it's not hard to get a business up to making 6 figures plus to be able to comfortably support you and a family. Like, you know, that's all I want, like, to be able to do what I want, what I love, making music. And like, honestly, I've been finding other ways, because I'm not as business-minded as a lot of other people that I work with. I'm the creative. Like, I could make something out of anything. So I'm the bitch with the ideas, and I can put an event together like nobody's business. That's my role right here. But, like, right now, like, I'm putting this event together, and I think I'm going to start doing, we're going to start doing shows. We're doing concerts now, and I like that. That's pretty good money, I ain't going to lie to you. There's some money in there. So it's like, I always hate that. I always tell people, especially young people, I know especially like in black families that like art is kind of discouraged as a profession. And I hate that because what people don't understand is that like they make stupid money. You don't have to be the face of something to be making money. Like, you don't have to be a Hollywood actor. You could be on the camera crew. You could be doing makeup. You could be doing great screenplay. Do you know how many people it takes to write one script on a professional film? Like, it's like you could just be the light nigga. You could be the dude that makes sure the chords, you could be the dude that makes sure that the chords are not out so people don't trip over him. That man gets paid bread. Like, you know that movie Don't Be a Menace? Yes. Message, right? So you're so right when it comes to, you know, the person behind the scenes is often probably the one that's making the most money. And they making more. The songwriters make more money than the artists. Like, like, it's like, you don't have to, like, bro, to all of y'all black people, young people watching this, you can make money doing art. You don't have to be the main nigga to be making art. That's not how that works. You said something about staying true to yourself and authenticity. So, you know, we had a lady named Bryn Bailey on, and she said that, you know, she thinks that the market for music, people are wanting more authenticity. And, you know, Cap. I think that, like, you know, in this current moment in time, maybe they don't want authenticity, they just talk about it. People don't know what they want till you give it to them. Yeah, that is facts. I agree with you. And so it's just like, I just think that over the long run, when it comes to something like art, music, in the long run, people do want that authentic version of that. Once they're comfortable with an artist and they like an artist, it's like, to put it funny in a funny term, like listening to new artists is like dating. Like, it's like
Wow, okay.
it's like you gotta like what you see. You gotta be interested in it in the first place. Like, you're not gonna give it a second thought if you're not really interested in it. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's like, like if you see somebody and you're like, this is a little too much for me. I think I'm good on this. Like, you see a bitch walk out and she doing the absolute fucking most and it's a little too weird for you. You're gonna be like, I respect it, but it's not for me. Go off. Like, but if it's like you meet somebody and you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of a little bop. It's like, oh, I like your fit. Okay, I see you working with something. Okay, I like the cut. Okay, for sure. All right, and then you hear something and then like, you keep hanging out with this person, you keep listening to the music and it's like, all right, I kind of fuck with it. And then you start noticing shit. Then you're like, oh, damn, I didn't even peep that bar. You start finding out stuff about a person. It's like the more you're into it. And so then eventually, you're like, okay, I know what you look like at a social standing. Like, I'm trying to get to know you now.
Interesting.
So it's like, that's how music is. If they don't fuck with you, if they don't fuck with you at face value, they don't care about what's deeper than that.
Wow, that's a one-liner right there. Listening to artists is like dating.
It is.
And that's a great way to put it because, like you said, if you got to be interested in it, if the first 5 seconds it doesn't grab your attention, similar to when you're talking to somebody for the first time.
If you grew up real religious, you look at somebody's cover art and it's a bunch of satanic shit, you're gonna be like, I don't really want to listen to this. Like, it's gonna put you off.
Exactly.
Like, it's the same thing.
Exactly. And, you get into like the image of it, right? And so it's like, I think that image and music go hand in hand because like, you make cool sounding music, you got to fit the aesthetic, whether that be your own aesthetic that you created or a pre-manufactured one, so like I think that
And both work depending on who you are.
Exactly. I think that you get into some real interesting points that we might touch on later of just like how things are interconnected. And like at the end of the day, you do have to stay true to yourself if you want to last, if you want to be sustainable.
There's no two people that are exactly the same. The only thing you have that other people don't have is you.
Exactly.
Like, niggas can get anything that you found somewhere the same fucking way that you found it. Like, it's like, oh, this is dope. I'm gonna do this. All right. Well, nigga, I saw the same post on Pinterest last week. Like, like it's like, all right. Like, nobody knows. Like, nobody has walked in your shoes. That's all you got going for you. That you have that's yours. Because you got siblings and shit that grew up with the same parents and shit, but they didn't internalize it the same way you did. Only you can do that.
Exactly.
So
Everybody
run with
has
that.
Their own unique perspective.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about this earlier, but has music connected you to anybody? Could you talk about that?
I don't have any friends outside of what I do. Actually, I've been battling with some like mental issues, like just mentally like draining because like I realized that all of the niggas that I hang out with make music or have some type of like intense creative outlet that's like damn near their career path. And it's like, at first it was cool because I was like, I'm never not creating, but sometimes that shit is exhausting. It's like sometimes, like for example, one of my homegirls, Talicia, just came out here to come see me last night. She just left this morning. She spent the night. She was like just kicking it with me, and I was just like, damn, like I appreciate you because I miss my friends that don't make music because like sometimes like when you make music and you want an opinion on something, it's like, oh, listen to this. Like, the niggas that make music are listening to it like artists, like engineers. Yeah. And I'm just like, God damn, like, can you just tell me if you vibe with the song? Like, God damn, everybody's not gonna be picking my shit apart like we on a fucking Joe Budden podcast. Like, can we, God damn, like, can we not? Like, can we just, the beat hard. Can I just get one of them? Like, no, it's never that. It's always, well, your tone right here, it sounded a little late right here on the hook. I'd be like, do you like the song or not? It becomes exhausting. Yeah. So it's like, I really appreciate my friends that don't make music, but most of the people that I hang out with on a consistent basis, I tell people I don't hang out with people who don't do shit. And I mean that, like, I don't want to. Right. 'Cause it's like, you don't have to make music, but you got to do something. Exactly. Like, like what we was talking about earlier, what you do? I play 2K, I watch Snowfall and Power, and the Cowboys my favorite football team. That's it? That's all she wrote? That's all it is to you? That's it? Oh my goodness. The females be on the same thing. Girl, I be going to get my nails done. Sometimes I be going to the bar with my bitches. Hot girl shit. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's all there is to your personality.
Yeah, right.
I can't do it. Like, so it's, I'd be like, you know, no disrespect, but there has to be another layer there.
Yeah.
Some people don't have that other layer, and it's like, I'm not gonna waste my time with you because you're complacent with where you're at, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's like you are what you surround yourself with. Like I met PJ definitely is poetic justice. I owe a lot to poetic justice because like I met my engineer through poetic justice. I met the niggas I make music with through poetic justice. I met the videographers through poetic justice. I met the niggas that have the venues that I do the shows at through poetic justice. Like it's just been like hella connections.
Yeah.
And I even though I'm not even like here anymore, I come back to PJ. Like I'll go to PJ. Fuck yeah, I'll go to PJ because it's like a whole nother generation of people that I can listen to this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not like I'm out here trying to be in freshman spaces and shit. Like I have no desire to do that. But it's like, yeah, no, y'all can listen to my music though.
Right.
Because like shit is niggas in their 30s that got 16-year-olds bumping they shit. I don't give a fuck how old you are if you don't give me a stream. Y'all got more time to listen to music than I do. Y'all just going to class. Like I got a full-time job. Like no, like I'm gonna promote my shit. So it's like I don't have any connections that music has given me a lot of value, like given me a lot of valuable connections with people, and I appreciate that so much because there's a lot of other shit that I could be putting my time and energy into. Like I've been friends with people that are like, oh, let's go out and party, let's go do this, and it's like you're not adding any value to my life. You're really adding more problems because you want to go out and party and create issues that have nothing to do with anything, and now we got drama going on that could have been avoided. I'm spending time 3-4 hours talking to you about how a bitch looked at you funny when I could have made 3 songs just now. Like I don't like that. Like I'm too productive for that. I'm also a little too ADHD. I might be spectrum autistic. I don't got time for the bullshit. I gotta try to make stuff.
Right. No, that's very interesting. You know, and not a lot of people talk about, you know, sometimes wanting to take a step away from the...
It's a hard decision to make because, like, when you really make that decision to step back, you disconnect. And it's like, especially with COVID, like, I feel like it forced a lot of people to disconnect. Like, you didn't really have a choice. It was like, yeah, sit the fuck down somewhere. Like, it's like, damn, I want a Sunday fun day. You can't Sunday fun day every week now. Sit down somewhere. What are you... And then it had people really self-reflect. That's why people were depressed. Because when you take away the function, the drinking, and the partying and the lit, like you don't have anything. What do you have? You're just a motherfucker that can hold their liquor on Sundays. Like that's it. Like that's all you got to you. So it's like, damn, it had people really focus and get in a bag a little bit. And personally, I know a lot of people say they don't fuck with the pandemic. I feel like the pandemic is one of the best things that ever happened to some people. Yeah. Because I watched niggas that had no ambition and no goals come out with whole fucking businesses out of the pandemic, and I was like, yo, no. That you needed that. Yeah, like, you needed that.
That definitely hits home for me because before pandemic, man, I couldn't even tell you what direction I was going
Pandemic.
Pandemic. No, there are definitely some people out there that I know that really didn't came up during the pandemic. So interesting. So, who or what inspires you to make music, or inspires your music?
I will say this. I heard Ed Sheeran say something. I'm an Ed Sheeran fan. Let me say that. I'm an Ed Sheeran fan when he was like, I'm not no offense, Ed, but like, I don't know, you selling out right now. I like your old shit. I like, you know, I like Multiply and Plus and songs with Amy, like the mixtapes and shit. I don't know. You didn't switch it up on me. Now you making wedding anthems like John Legend and shit, but it's okay. I'm sorry. But Ed Sheeran said something a while back. He was like, I'm a selfish writer. I'm a selfish writer. Like, it's really big fuck everybody. I don't make music for y'all. I make music for me. Respectfully. But it's really big fuck everybody. Like I make music for me. If I was making music for y'all, I'd be like I'm not on that shit. I don't care. Like, if I'm feeling like, being lit and being on my ratchet shit that I'll make a song, but like I'm usually not on that. I'm a simp ass bitch. I tell my friends I get my heart broken at least once a month.
Wow.
I feel my feelings. Love too hard because I love hard. I make great music.
Right.
Emotional people make great art. But yeah, I honestly feel like I'd have a lot of on some serious shit. I have a lot of mental health issues. I've lived a lot of life. I've had a lot of terrible things happen to me. Because of that, they've shaped who I am as a person. Never let it control me as a person, but it definitely affects how I view the world, of course. Like, I'm not gonna, you can be strong and acknowledge that something is affecting you. Like, that's part of being strong. But I don't know, I feel like the stuff that I've done, the stuff that I've been through, my upbringing, just like, I've been through some shit. And it's just like, for me, I'd be like, damn, the fact that I'm still here, because there's a lot of instances I probably shouldn't be here, low key. Like, I've been in several, even in the past couple of years, like, I should not still be alive.
Right.
But I am, so I feel like, since I am, I feel like I owe it to whatever you believe in, God, the universe. I owe it to that to help people find what I found. Like, so it's just like that's what drives me. I always say this too, like, I have people because I perform a lot, so I have people come up to me and ask me for performance tips, like artists, even really good artists, because just because you make good music don't mean you can perform. It takes a lot to be comfortable in front of a crowd of people live, because if you record and you fuck up, you could delete take. Like,
sure can.
Help me punch in. Like, you can't do that shit live. So it's like, for me, I just be like, people come up to me like, if you're having fun, the audience will have fun. And the way I look at it is like, I don't give a fuck if the whole room is talking over me. There's one person in that audience that's listening to me. I'm performing for you.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if anybody else hears me. If I bring one person to tears, if I got one person bopping their head hard as fuck, if I got one person up out their seat, I have succeeded.
Right.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if the whole room don't give a fuck. Now, usually they do, because I hate that. But I've been humbled before.
Yeah.
Like, I done gone in somewhere with an ego and been like, damn, they don't fuck with me. I'm alright, it's cool. Like, it's fine. It happens. Like, everybody ain't everything ain't everybody cup of tea. So my driving force is really just those people that listen, or those people that have been where I've been, that feel like life dealt them a shit hand and they don't know what to do with it. We're building a house of cards, bitch, with these dingy ass Uno cards they gave you, cause bitch, look, we gotta do something, make some shake with something. It's like you can beat. I've seen people who are rich do nothing. Yeah. And I've seen people with nothing move mountains. So it's like it's there. It's unfortunate that, like, the level of effort and work and stress and sacrifice that has to come with it when you aren't blessed with those resources. But, like, also, like, it's important to not, this is a tangent, but it's important to not be bitter at the people who were blessed with those resources. I feel like that's, like, a common stipulation in the Black community. And it, like, especially, like, with music and stuff, it bothers me, because I'm like, it's not their fault that their parents took care of them. Yeah. It's not their fault that their parents hustled and were able to provide for them shit that your parents weren't. And it's like, that's unfortunate, and I understand that, you should have some respect because you had to work a little harder for it, but don't discredit someone else's hard work because they were blessed with resources. That bothers me, and I feel like that's a really big issue that we have, like, in the Black community, and like with music. Like,
right. I think it's important that people hear that message, because it is true. And, you know, I feel like we've been, for years, have just been making excuses, like, or
if it's not struggle, it's not authenticated. And it's like, damn, because I wasn't having niggas shooting through my bedroom window at 4 years old doesn't mean that my music sucks. Like,
exactly,
that doesn't even come. Like, don't even have anything to do with each other. Right. Like, people want to hear pain so fucking bad. It's like, half of y'all from the fucking suburbs ain't never even held the gun in your fucking life. Y'all out here wanting to listen to trap music.
And if you're a believer of what you say can manifest itself in reality.
It can, like, and I've watched that shit happen.
You know, you got to get out of that cycle. And I want to say that I'm glad that you are here, because, you know, you know, there are people out there like you, and what each person has to contribute to the world and to society and to life in general is all important, regardless if you think that or not. Everybody's perspective is all important, because if you think about the odds of you even making it out, you know, to become a person that lives in this world,
Oh God,
the
because it'll
odds
be
are,
like, damn, you was really that one sperm. You made it.
yeah,
Congrats.
out of millions. So
God, you was 1 in a million at birth. Like, hey, bro.
you're here for a reason. So now that, you know, people got a little bit of background about you, please get into what your creative process is and what your writing process is.
Sheesh. Okay, so there's 2 routes that I take when I create music-wise, when I'm creating. So if I'm painting or something, I'm just gonna spark up and vibe. But sometimes I make music like that. But for the most part, usually it's driven by an emotion. There's been times that I'll just make some fun shit. Nigga will be like, hey, look at this beat. And I'll be like, oh, that hard. We can make something to that. And I'll just be writing some goofy shit. But for the most part, like, my good songs, in my personal opinion, you know, it's an opinion, but my good songs come from an emotion. Like, I'm usually a sad bitch that day. And I'm like, oh, I'm in my feelings. Oh, this nigga hurt my feelings. Or, oh, I'm you know, family, life beating my ass right now. Lifing in the wrong direction. I really need to get this shit off my chest. And that's usually how it happens. And so what I'll do is I'll get on BeatStars, or, you know, YouTube, if you will, but I prefer BeatStars. I'll get on BeatStars, I'll type in, like, recently I've been on, like, my live instrument thing, so I'll type in, like, an instrument. I really like acoustic and electric guitars, bass guitars. I'm a guitar bitch. I like string instruments, harps, violins, cellos.
Yeah.
Like, I really like string instruments, so I'll type in like a string sample, and it'll usually give me like some live instruments, and I'll like whatever it makes me feel. I usually take a piece of the harmony from the music that's being used, incorporate that into my hook. Yeah, so I'll find a beat, you know, find a sample that I really like with an instrument I'm fucking with. And then like I'm not that melody bitch. I don't just shit out melodies like some people can just like hit that hoe. I'm not that person. So like really what I'll do is I'm the words. I can plug words into anything. So I usually take a piece of the melody from like the instrument I hear, or this is another thing I'll do. I like crossing genres. I'll take a melody from like some punk rock shit and put it in a rap flow, or I'll take like a rap flow and put it on some alternative shit, and like I'll take some country melody and put it here, like and it works because it's like, oh, okay, the emotion's the same, the genre is just different.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of people's like. Rod Wave is really good about doing that. Trippy does it. XXX, Juice WRLD, like niggas like that do a lot of shit like that.
Oh yeah.
That's just what I'm saying because that's what I listen to. But there's other people that do it too. But that's really how that happens. Shit, I've taken stuff from kids' songs. Like there's like one of my mixtapes. Like I think I was like scroll and hug and down my feet, try beef and subtweet and keep that shit discreet. Like that's a nursery rhyme. Like,
wow.
But it was catchy.
Right,
that was on the radio. Like I was like, okay, cool, bet. Like I was live. Like I was like, bet. But I'll do that. Add some words to it. And then that's really all that is. It's really just the words kind of come to me. I kind of, in a sense, like I almost like black out and just start writing like on some crazy shit. Like I'll just be like,
you know, like you can you know look at me crazy, but like I think it is kind of some sort of like a higher power in a way, because it's like there could be moments where you're sitting there trying to write a song and you can't write anything. And then
that happened to me 2 days ago. That literally happened to me 2 days ago.
That writer's block.
C's was like, let's make a song. I said, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm just not feeling it today. I wrote like 4 bars. I said, all this shit is garbage. I can't do it today, bro. It's just not happening. He's like, it's cool. Same shit happened to him last night. I was like, we was up. He's like, I can't find a good beat. I said, you've skipped through like 50 fucking beats already, bro. You've been on YouTube for 2.5 hours. Like, and then like Grace just go, maybe it's not a music day, my guy. I mean, he was like, I guess it's not. I'm like, bro, I'm like, it's cool, bro. Just write tomorrow. He's like, for sure.
Yeah, no.
Pass me the sticks. Let's play some 2K. Like
that's facts. Sometimes you gotta take a break, you know, and then some days it just hits you, and then you just sitting there, you finish the whole song. And
there's been
like,
days I've cranked out like 5 songs in a day, and then there's been months that I just couldn't write shit.
Yeah.
And I hate that. But it's like, okay, those months that the important thing is to put your time and energy in right places. So if you can't write, you should be spending your time doing something else.
Yep.
Do marketing, come up with some cover art, go do some open mics, go perform your shit somewhere.
Yeah.
Like go push your shit.
Yeah, especially because a lot of people be sitting on these catalogs and it's like, bro, you already got like 30 songs out. Go perform them songs. Like go get it out, take a break, come back.
What people don't understand is that like if you don't put your shit out there, like nobody's gonna do it for you. That shit is not gonna fall in your lap. You're not gonna create a mixtape, drop it, and have a record deal drop in your fucking lap. That's not how life works. Like you have to be your biggest. You have to advertise yourself. You have to be everything. Like
I mean,
or
find
a team of people that like to work together, because like that's basically essentially what I just did. Like I work with Wex, I work with JT and Evan and Lache and a whole bunch of other people, and it's like, yeah, we're not a group. Like people confuse us for that. A lot of people. We're not a group. We're not a collective. We're not a label. We're just friends that fuck with each other that make music. And that's just what it turned out to be, and I'm like, cool, I'm totally okay with that. Like we're all independent artists, and it's like we all fuck with each other, we all respect each other's craft, and we're all on the same page, like where we trying to go. So I just like, yeah, that works.
So you said something about BeatStars, right? That you go on BeatStars. That's how you know somebody who's serious, and that's how you know somebody who pay for beats, because most niggas, they'll get on
YouTube MP3 rip. I've definitely done that. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm gonna cap. I did that shit recently. It was like some nigga, I was trying to pay for the beat, like he wouldn't let me pay for the beat. He fucking, it was some dude in another country. He don't speak English. I was like, it was like an XXX sample. I wanted to use it for my album. I'm using it on the album. I DM'd him and I was like, yo, let me get this beat from you. How much is it? He was like, no US dollar work. I said, the fuck you mean no US? Okay, well, shit, can I Bitcoin you, nigga? Like what you want from me? Like I'll send you get you want some.
People be scared of money, bro.
Tell us what you want. I could cash up. You got PayPal. Like what you want? He was like, no work. I said, so I can't have the beat. He said, I don't know. I said, it's cool. YouTube MP3 downloader. I was like, sweetie, I just wanted to give you my money.
Right.
He wasn't trying to take it. I said, it's fine, bro. You live in another country. I said, you know what? If I blow up and I get famous off this song, I will come find you and personally put the bread in your hand.
He gonna find you, because
he be like, I made this.
Nah, for real.
I'll come find you, my guy. You don't gotta sue me. I pay you for it. You want your royalties and got it. I just wanted to use the beat. But no, I definitely pay for beats. I believe in paying people for their services because I believe in getting paid for mine.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. You gotta give respect to receive respect. So you said that you get like your heart broken every month. Do you write off of positive emotions or other emotions that you feel?
It's easier to write from pain than it is from happiness.
Okay.
That's for me.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everybody, but like I've been through a lot of shit. I've had a lot of shit happen to me. And like, no offense, but like men are trash. Dating in your 20s is garbage. Like, it sucks. So it's just like, I have people I be talking to, they be great. And like fast forward and be like, oh, I really like you. You're such a vibe. Your energy's great. But like I'm in love with this other bitch. I'd be like, why did you tell me about this other bitch like 5 months ago? How long you been talking to her? 2 years. Aight, so that's cool. Like, and that's happened to me like on multiple occasions. Sheesh. Like not exactly that, but damn near the same thing. I'd be like, that's crazy. Like, and then I'd be talking to my friends. I'd be like, bro, what am I doing wrong? And they'd be like, you're not really doing anything wrong. It's just who you be coming in contact with. Yeah. But I'd just be like, okay, like life be happening. And it's just like, that's how I deal with things. It's like therapeutic for me. Yeah. That's why I say I'm a selfish writer. I'm not writing for y'all. Right. Writing for me to get me through my day because I don't have anybody that I like talk to. Like I have friends, but it's like, after a while, I just don't want to like keep telling them like I feel like everything that comes out of my mouth is negative. That's not a healthy friendship. Like I'm not trying to like do that. So it's like if it's something really serious and I know I need to talk to somebody, like I know my friends are there for me. But it's like every little bitty thing I'm not gonna come to them with. Like
and I appreciate that you have that awareness because I think that a lot of people.
They expect their friends to carry the whole burden of their lives on their shoulders because it's a responsibility and obligation that's not fair.
Yeah, and it's like writing and putting things down on paper and like putting your energy into creative outlets. It helps you deal with that.
It helps you grow too as a person. It helps you learn a lot about yourself because sometimes your friends will be that person to tell you like, hey bro, like you gotta chill this out. But it's like if you start to see a pattern within yourself because you've been really focused on you, like you can avoid having to infringe upon other relationships in your life if you can deal with it yourself. Not saying that if you need help, like definitely go get help. Like mental health is important, but like it's also important to grow up in a sense. Like
Yes.
mommy and daddy can't be there to pat you on your ass every time you scrape your knee. Like that's just not how that works. Your friends are not obligated to your friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they're not obligated to carry the burden of like the weight of everything you have going on in your life. Like it should be evenly balanced.
Yeah,
like
because everybody has their things that they're going through, and so
that's what outlets are for.
right, and that's how some of the best artists made. So find your passion, find your creative outlet, and put some energy into that.
Period.
So, what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to, as the kids call it, white people music. I do. Steez hates me because oh man, he be so hurt. I listen to everything if I'm being real with you. But like for example, on my way over here, I listen to some Jasmine Sullivan. Okay. I listen to some Drake.
Okay.
I listen to some Trippy. But I also listen to like some Paramore. I listen to some Green Day. Good, yeah. I listen to Flyleaf. I listen to a lot of bands that I don't know the name of, but I just happen to Shazam the song somewhere and it's in my phone. Like, yeah. But the way I listen to music is weird because I'll like download an album from an artist that I know I'm gonna want to listen to, or like I'll Shazam a song and I'll add it to my library and I won't listen to it. I keep my phone. Every time I go to listen to music, I just hit shuffle and whatever plays. So it's like, for example, I still haven't listened to Tyler, the Creator's full album. Haven't. And I've listened to some of the songs, they've come through shuffle, but hey, all of them haven't. So if it's 5 years from now and that bitch come on, and shit, it's new to me. 5 years. Because I feel like if I do that, then I'll never become like, as making music, I have to be careful with how I listen to music, because what you listen to, despite how high and mighty you want to feel as an artist, that shit affects your art. So yes. It's like if all you listen to is YoungBoy and G Herbo, and you don't listen to shit else, but you want to be an R&B singer, baby, you have to expand your horizons, because that's not cutting it. Yeah. The closest to a love song you gonna get is Renata. Like, I don't know. Like, you gotta branch out.
Yeah, no, you definitely do.
You got to. Like, it's not. Nah, I listen to everything, and people who be like, oh, I don't listen to country, or I don't listen to R&B, or I don't listen to rock, or people who be like, I don't listen to. It's too close-minded for me. Yeah. And I'm friends with some people that I just can't fuck with it. I feel like there is something to learn from every genre of music if you are an artist. I don't care what genre of music you make. If you are a rapper, I just told you I take melodies and flows from all genres of fucking music and make it work. I'm taking shit from Beethoven. I don't give a fuck. Yes. Like, it's like it's all transferable. Like, you gotta expand your mind. Like, you might be really thinking of a vibe that you're trying to capture. And then not even just on a music level, like just as like an artist, on like a branding level. It's like if you only focus on one demographic of music because that's what you listen to, that's gonna be your only fucking fan base. And I'm telling you, the world's a lot bigger than what you think it is. So it's you gotta like, hey yo, you want to be a rapper, that's cool, and you might be popping in your hood, but guess what, there's thousands of hoods that aren't listening to you. They don't know you fucking exist because there's a nigga in their hood that doing exactly what you doing. How are you different? You like, there's 1,000,001 niggas that want to be famous doing this music shit. Like, why are you special? Like, you have to expand. Like, and honestly, like, listening to other types of music helps you to stay relevant media wise with other people. Like it's like outside of like, we see it with TikTok. It's like, bro, I'm not to be funny, I want white people money. Like, I love my black people. I do. I love y'all so much, but y'all don't like to pay for shit. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, y'all don't. I don't. Shit, I understand. I'm cheap as hell. Like, But damn, like, it's people that's not, like, and I want them to want my shit, because they'll pay for it. Like, and hey, like, that's cool. I'm not saying there's not black people who don't pay for shit. There definitely is. Like, but on the level that I'm at right now, niggas my age and my tax bracket is not trying to pay for that shit, and I'm not mad at you.
Right.
Living is expensive, but you have to be able to cross that threshold back and forth. Like, if you can't code switch in a sense with your music. That's when people are like, oh, this nigga's a sellout. Oh, he's making mainstream shit now. Somebody has to keep his lights on.
Yes.
If y'all want this flashy lifestyle and shit, y'all want a nigga to be rocking the chains and on these big ass stages flying in private jets and shit. Okay, well, y'all black folks not putting that money in his pocket. These white kids are.
So a couple of things, right? So yes, expand your mind. You have to listen to other types of music.
You have to
like new music that you never heard of, because it's like music programs you, right? And it does something to your brain where it's like, if you're not listening to new things, if you're not training your brain to do that, you get very complacent and you resist change. And anybody who's ever lived life before can tell you that change happens whether you want it to or not. Exactly.
Time is gonna keep moving whether you ask for it to wait or not. It's gonna keep going.
And your story has been about adjustments, right? From what I've been hearing from you.
Going
and
with
it's
the
like
flow, making it shape.
You have this great personality. You're a great person to be around because you understand certain things that you've learned because of your adjustments. People need to understand that, listening to new music, training your brain that way can help you get moving into that direction, where you're able to accept change, right?
Music is like dating, again.
Exactly.
You date all the same type of nigga, that's what you gonna get. Like, you're not gonna know what else is out there. So you gonna keep fucking with these dumbass niggas the rest of your life. Like, that's what that is. Expand your mind.
Exactly. And then too, demographics, right? Demographics play a huge key role in everything that life touches, right? So if you think about countries, right? Demographics change the culture of countries, right? If you think about...
if it didn't, marketing wouldn't pay attention to that shit.
Right. Think about people, think about a country who has a lot of older people. People with businesses that cater to older people are going to make more money than the people catering to younger people, if that's how the demographics are set up, right? So it's like, you have to pay attention to these demographics. You have to reach out, branch out, especially when it comes to music. Otherwise, you'll fizzle out and die. And so
that's how it helps you stay relevant.
Exactly.
Like that's another reason why, like, I may not necessarily want to be around like young people all the time, like people that are younger than me, because sometimes it does date me, make me feel a little bit old. But it's like, these are the people that are listening to my music. So it's like, like I recently I've been coming into like a different type of like level with my music, to the point that I have fans that I don't know, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I had a freshman in high school follow me on Instagram the other day, and I was like, what the fuck? Class of 2026. What the fuck is this?
You get that DM?
I was like, and then she like DM me. She's like, I love your music. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, am I allowed to respond to you? Like,
right.
Are you allowed? You old enough to have this account? How old are you? Like 13? Like, what the fuck? I'm a decade older than you. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's like, but it helps you stay relevant. Like, if you don't expand because like, it's like music is gonna keep changing, just like fashion trends change. Like, if you get complacent with where you're at because you're too stubborn to expand your mind, you're not gonna make it.
Let me ask you a question about the culture. So, you have people in the culture today that they listen to ESTG, they listen to Youngboy, they listen to Dirk, right? These same demographics will then look at maybe a Juice WRLD, a Lil Uzi, enter in any other alternative, black person that you want to, and they'll judge it. And it's like, well, some people are very local, and some people are in Europe touring right now. How do you feel about that dynamic? How do you feel about people having that view when it comes to, people of the same culture branching out and doing different things like that?
Oh, I feel like this is, I owe a lot of this to to moving around and living in different states. I've spent most of my life in Texas.
Okay.
However, I was raised by a New Yorker. My mom is from the South Bronx. She grew up there. Like, I lived in PG County, Maryland. I don't know if you know what PG County, Maryland is, but it's not a nice area.
Right.
I went from living in the South Bronx to living in PG County, Maryland, to living in South DC.
Yeah.
None of those places are good places to live.
Right.
So like, then I moved to Roanoke, Texas, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this? I went from seeing bodies in front of my house to fucking seeing deer in my front lawn, and I was like,
this is different.
okay, like, I went from seeing kids with guns to seeing old white men going hunting with rifles, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? So it's like, when I live and I see different types of people like that, it's just like, for me, I feel like in the South, and I know there's gonna be some people that are mad at me for saying this, and I don't care. In the South, black people are mad comfortable with what they know. And if it's not what they know, it's bad. And it runs deep.
Yes.
Like, deep. It's a deeply rooted thing for black people specifically.
Yes.
And I feel like so much of that, I could really get into it. I'm not going to go too deep on that, but I feel like most of that stems from like religion and how religion was like forced on black people, because the only other people that act that extreme about things are really religious white folks. Like, I'm talking like Bible Belt, like them real religious, like, you know, stand outside of abortion clinics and throw tomatoes at people, like tight white people. Like, you see them on UNC campus sometimes, you know what I'm talking about. Like, but it's like, it's that level of ride hard for like their beliefs and shit.
Exactly.
So it's like, for me, I'm just like, I feel like that's a systematic thing. But unfortunately, because it's a systematic thing, it's so transferable locally.
Yes.
So it's like, it hits real hard because it's like people love relatability. So if it's something like, oh, you from where I'm from, even if you're not from where I'm from, like some of these niggas from Memphis, some of these niggas from Louisiana, some of these niggas is from here, some of these niggas is from Houston. I know Dallas and Houston are two completely different states, essentially. So like I don't even like Houston is its own. Those are DFW and Houston are two different things. Shit, sure, Arlington and Dallas are two different things. Right. So like I get it, but like when you, for example, like C's is a Houston nigga. Like, that's my homie, that's my dog. Love C's to death. Like, but like, me and C's disagree on a lot of shit because a lot of shit that I do is weird to him. Yeah. But like, I'm from New York. We do weird shit. I try anything once. Within reason. Yeah, I try anything once. Yeah, I try anything once. So it's like, but like, he's not with that shit. Like, oh yeah. Like, I've seen Buddy Dry just no. No. Like, and then sometimes it's stuff that's too much. They just don't like it, or they don't like shit that feels this animosity, this racial animosity that's so like deeply rooted in the South, like puts people in boxes. And I really wish that it didn't exist, because like being in a major city for like half of my childhood, being around nothing but like other ethnicities and being forced into that, it's like it benefited me a lot. Yes. And honestly, like, not to be funny, but like black folks who grow up in the suburbs are way better off than the ones that grow up in the hood. And I only say that not even that's just to do with like resources or like money. It's literally just because of like the social aspect, because like suburbs are diverse now. Yes. Like, it's like there was a period in time where growing up in the suburbs could be detrimental because all you was just like one black kid around a bunch of white people. But it's like that's not the case anymore. You got Indians, you got fucking Asian people, you have Hispanics, you have black people, you have white people, you have foreign people, you have fancy white people, like, you know, fucking, I don't know. I don't want to insult anyone. But like, you know, you have like all types, like a melting pot of like races and religions and beliefs and ways of life and codes and whatever the fuck you want to call what you live by, call it. But you know, it's like you see people from all types of shit, sexual orientations, like, you know, like it's a big deal, and that shit is like mad potent in suburbs more than anywhere else. So I feel like that influences people's mindset on things, even all the way down to music. So it's like, if I grew up people who grow up in the suburbs are more open to shit than people who grow up in the hood, because
Yes.
in the hood, something that you don't know is dangerous.
Yes.
Like, you stick to what you know, because if you don't, that could mean your life.
Yes.
And I understand that, and I respect that, because I've been in those situations.
Yes.
But like, at the same time, it's like, after a while, it's like, your parents did a lot to get you out of there.
Yes.
You did a lot to get you out of there. You don't have to live like that anymore. And it's like, I hate that, because like, once you've been conditioned, it's like when people go to, as fortunately, it's like, and I've seen other people talk about this in like interviews, but like, when you go to prison and you're there for so long and you get out, you have to relearn how to be a citizen of society. When you grow up in the hood your whole life and you don't know anything else and you move somewhere else, it's like, damn, like, I have to learn how to. So it's like, those people that continue to listen to shit like Dirk and NBA and all that shit, it's like, this is all they know.
Right.
So it's what's comfortable for them, and people go to music for comfort. So it's like, if that's what's comfortable for you, that's what you're gonna listen to. That's like, that's your safe place. Music is your safe place. If your safe place is listening to niggas talk about trap houses and ARs, then nigga, that's what it is. Like, that's what's familiar to you. I'm not judging you for that at all. Like, I get it, but
Right.
it's like, you have to, until you want to break out of that mindset, you will forever be closed-minded. You will forever hold yourself in a box. My homeboy C's is not one of them niggas. He does like G Herbo's like one of his favorite rappers. Like, he loved Herb, he loved the trap shit. But like, I've seen C's cut on some Green Day and vibe out. Like,
if you go back to that last interview, he tells you he listens to Green Day. He listens to
that shit.
everything.
Yeah,
so
and
it's like,
and he might get on my ass sometimes, and he's like, he'll come in there making fun of me, listening to some shit. I'll be like, all right, cool, bro. But like, he listens to other shit. But I have some friends that all they listen to is trap shit.
yeah.
And they live hard lives.
Yes.
Not because they have to, because they choosing that shit right now,
Yeah.
because they're not in a situation, they're not in that situation no more.
Yeah.
But it's like, some people, that's all they know, that's all they want to live.
And you get conditioned that way. And I love the way that you put things, because like, you know, black people in America, we drive so much of the culture here, especially with music. If you go back to the episode that I did with Brent Bailey, we talked about it. We talked about from Negro spirituals all the way up to when they first commercialized music. It was it all started.
We was making music before then, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, and we did the episode on that, and it's America is the biggest market for music, the biggest consumer market for music. If you talk to people in India, they have a totally different concept of music.
The only reason I know that is because, like, one, I've recently like found out I have people in other countries that have been streaming my shit, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, it is.
And then for two, it's like, you tell somebody from another country that you make music and you're American, they automatically think you're cool.
Oh yeah.
And I'd be like, what?
Yes.
I'd be like, because I'm
Yes.
an American?
Yes.
Get the fuck. The only place that being an American is good, because they do not like us. They do not like us overseas, bro.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, so much of culture, like especially stuff that travels overseas, you know, it's some people from overseas, they'll come up to me and they're like, oh, I love Snoop Dogg, I love this and that. I'm like, bro, like, you're like 20 years behind, but it's like
But they're
that stuff,
timeless.
it makes it over there. And so it's important for people of the culture right now to realize that, hey, your music has an impact, and like people from these other cultures, demographics, they are listening, they're looking. So it's like,
people don't know how to get their music over there, though, because that comes back to like how they handle situations. You can't be a hood nigga and try to go to somebody's bougie ass Fortune 500 company and convince them why they should, because right now you're a risk.
Yeah.
They're not gonna put you on TV if they think you're gonna get shot on live television.
Exactly.
Like, why would we do that?
yeah,
Like-
and it feeds into all.
Why would we invest a contract in you if you're gonna die in 2 years?
Exactly,
Like,
and it feeds into the life insurance stuff that these organizations
yeah,
are
like
doing.
it's
and
everyone's
stuff.
the people just looking at it at face value, and the
Yep.
people that don't make music don't see it as that they're just fans. They see it as, oh, like, they don't want us to be great. No, y'all are
You're a
doing
liability.
ignorant shit.
You're a
liability. Like, that's why they're not hiring these people. That's why these people aren't getting deals.
Can you check the time? Like, how long you think we're at?
So far I got like an hour.
Hour. Okay.
How long your podcast usually be?
Oh, I'm trying to have them go longer. Like when I first started, they were like under an hour. So I'm glad that they're going like this long.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, no,
Bet.
you're dropping a lot of gems. We good? Okay, so yeah, right. Like you're saying, you know, you're a risk, you're a liability, and it's like you drive so much of the industry that you don't realize that, like, you messing up people's money, bro. Like just 2 weeks ago or last week, PNB Rock, you know, got killed. The whole incident with Sauce Walk, it's like, bro, Could you imagine losing PNB Rock and Sauce Walker? Like what that does for the culture, what that does for music
Shit, that's
as a
like
whole?
when Mac Miller died,
Yes.
when fucking XXX died,
Yes.
Juice. Like, it's like, damn, they really taking niggas out. Like,
Yes.
like left and right. Like they shot what's it called, in broad daylight on the highway in Dallas. Like I'm
Yes.
like, yo, y'all just don't give a fuck. Like
Yes.
y'all. And then on top of that, like it used to, I know it developed from like the 90s and like that Pop Biggie, Welcome to Death Row, like, like I know it evolved from that era, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like in the hood, there was a level of like code and respect that they functioned off of, and this new generation doesn't care.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't run an organization with no principles.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't run an organization. I don't care if it's a gang. I don't care if it's the cabinet of the United States. I don't give a fuck. You can't run an organization.
Yes.
I don't care if it's the Illuminati. You can't run an organization without structure.
Yes.
So when you start saying, throw caution to the wind, fuck it, I'm gonna just blow somebody granny shit up. Like
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to fuck with people's with the kids. You're not supposed to fuck with people's grandparents and disrespecting the dead and shit. Like there's like
Oh, man.
there's levels. Like there's people out here like that's somebody's child.
Yes.
Like
and what's crazy is that, you know, they look like you, bro. So like you don't think that they don't think
and you
about
out here
helping the
making us
community?
look goofy to the rest of the
Yeah.
world. It's like to all of them, we just some niggas, and you're making us look really bad right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they got like, why these white kids out here rapping like us? They stealing our shit because they're providing the sound that you have, the energy that you have, with none of the risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why there's a repetitive pattern of, for lack of a better way to say it, white people taking our shit. Like it's like a thing. Like it's and people are like, why does it keep happening? Because y'all keep letting it fucking happen. Get your shit together, clean yourself
Yeah,
up.
I
Stop being ignorant. Like
Yeah, and
they can't tell me they don't know better because they do.
Yeah, and you know, people like other cultures, and if you're not going to treat your culture with respect, how could you expect other people to do that for you?
You don't have to agree with them, but you have to respect them.
Exactly. So, switching gears a little bit.
Okay. Sorry, I got a little political.
No, you're good, because it is important for people to see that music is touching these other aspects.
Media has always had a big effect on political, like on life. Like whole entire riots have started off of TikToks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and if you look at, you know, black community and just what most of the money is coming from is entertainment.
Nina Simone is a civil rights activist, like Bob Marley, like these people like
Exactly.
were part of like political movements.
Exactly.
It's music.
So, are women tastemakers?
Okay, so that was the only question I didn't understand when I looked over them hoes. So
Okay.
like, what does that mean?
Okay, so basically, put this in perspective, right? You know, say somebody drops a song, right? And, you know, maybe the guys around them aren't messing with it, right? It's looked at as lame, right? Women start dancing to it. They start telling people that that's their favorite song, and they start playing that song. Similar to what happened to Lil Uzi. He was dropping music for years. Yes, Jules plays his music on Instagram Live. Now he's the biggest rapper in the world, or one of the biggest rappers
I will
in
just
the world.
say this. Women have so much more power than people think, because at the end of the day, with the exception of, you know, people that don't like women, but at the end of the day, I lied, I take it back. Men want bitches. Like at the end of the day, like pussy rule the world. I don't care what anybody says. So if I want to go, if I want to go out, if I'm a DJ and I'm the one playing music, and I know that my girl at home been throwing her ass in this one song that I think is dumb as shit. I fucking hate this fucking song, stupid ass song, but my bitch like it. Her girls like it. I see bitches on TikTok throwing ass to it. I'ma play that bitch at the club.
Yeah.
And niggas are gonna bump it because they wanna see bitches lit. So that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna play the music. And then take it a step further, I have not seen a more supportive community of the arts than the LGBTQ plus community. I don't care. Them niggas have put people on the map.
Yes.
There is nobody going harder for theirs than them folks.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't care what ethnicity you are. I don't care how you built. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care what you gay. You trans, you a lesbian, you bisexual, I fucks with you. We fam. Like, I'd be like, wow, y'all are so I love it. I love the energy.
Yeah.
I wish black folks acted like that, but they don't.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like, I love that.
Communities are very strong, and like I've seen on social media, the way that they go hard for Ariana Grande, the way they go hard for Beyonce,
Lady Gaga, Doja, Nicki, Cardi, they go to hell and back for them.
Yes.
Don't you disrespect the Beehive on social media, you will get canceled in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Them gay black men will tear you to shreds. Not too much on B. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So let me shut my bitch ass up. But no, like, because of that, women, they're tastemakers because like everybody want to be a bad bitch. Like, and I'm not gonna cap. Gay men rule TikTok. I don't care what nobody said, bro. Gay men rule TikTok, from the makeup tutorials to the tea. Like, I'd be like, man, nah. Let them fuck with some shit. Let them see a bitch fucking with some shit that they fuck with. Oh, it's up now.
Yeah, and it goes back to that point of like demographics, communities. You know, people need to come together because you may not have anything in common with somebody who's a part of the LGBTQ community, but it's like, I mean, y'all both benefit from each other. Y'all both can be friends. Y'all both like the same stuff.
When I look at my demographics of my streams, because it can break it down and show me, most of the people I hang out with are niggas. Most of the people that I listen to my music are women and gay people. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like most of the people that come up to me in public that be like, oh my God, I love your music, it'd be females, white people, and gay people. Yeah. And I'd be like, that's crazy, because that's literally like not what I hang out with at all. Like, I have like 2 female friends. Yeah. And like, that's it.
So what do you think about the music that women make today?
This is a question I wasn't looking forward to. I respect it. I don't like it. I'm not that bitch. I'm not that OnlyFans bitch. I'm not with it. Like, and I respect it because I know I feel like, unfortunately, to be able to afford to make what you want to make, you have to make what people want to hear. Right. And that's what the world is putting out there right now. So that's what people are making. Like, it's not even like, I know for a fact that Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki, like all of these artists are more than capable of making other shit than what they make. They know that. They pen cold. I've seen it. We've seen it. Oh yeah. But that's not what's selling. Right. Meg has made some hard ass songs, but y'all want to hear her talk about popping pussy and hot girl shit. So it's like, that's what she's gonna fucking make, because that's what her label is telling her to make. Right. Like, it's people be like, oh, this bitch that all she rap about is her pussy. Okay, because she's signed to a label and that's what she's getting paid to do. You talk about your pussy every day, but you're not getting paid for it. Like, fuck? You're not making no money, bitch. She rapping about her pussy making millions. Like, that's the reality of it.
I mean, it is just the reality of it. And so
to me, it's just like, it's not necessarily my cup of tea. It's not what I'm gonna like cut on my phone, but I respect it. Like, it is what it is.
So for me personally, right, like, I understand the incentives behind making music like that. I just personally, I wish I could see more facets of women music outside of that, because like,
well, everybody wants to be cool, and being a hip hop artist as a woman, because if you look at other genres of music, they don't do that. Right. It's hip hop culture. Yeah. So when we stop being ignorant and acting like we don't got no goddamn sense, women will be able to make the shit they want to make without it being R&B. For sure. Like, because the only thing that we're allowed to rap about is our pussy and getting our heart broken and falling in love. That's the only thing we're allowed to make songs about right now. Like, I can't make no song about getting a bag without it being about finessing a nigga. Like, it's not it doesn't correlate. Like, I only make songs about shit that I do. So like, when I make songs I be rapping about beating a bitch ass, because I'm not scared to fight a bitch. Like, I make songs about making my music. I make songs about how I'll hang out with homeboys and the bitches they be fucking on try to come to me and get information on them. Like, bitch, I owe you nothing. You think I'm finna tell on my niggas?
You sticking to the code?
Oh God, like I don't know you, bitch. So we both girls. Yeah, he's an angel. He got 3 hoes in his phone. I'm not finna tell you that. I don't know you.
Right.
Like I'm not the ops.
Right. And you know, there are 3 women that like I just love their music. I love, you know,
Ooh,
where
please
they're
say
going.
them. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I really, to start off, you know, from older to young, Rico Nasty has been somebody that I've always.
I love Rico.
Yes, I've watched her from like, you know.
She's the same age as me. And I think that shit is so crazy every time I look at her because she got out of high school and just went straight into making music.
Oh, yeah.
She had a kid, went straight into making music, and went hard for what she did, and she there. And it's like, damn, I went to college. I should have I should have did what she did. Because that's what I wanted to do. My parents told me I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. But she hit that hoe. I don't even know her. I'm proud of what she's done.
Sure.
Like, I love it.
I love what she does. I love artist named Hook, if you're familiar with her. She, man, like when I tell you that she tries it all with the structure of her like lyrics.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
her name is Hook. That's a fire ass name.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She's awesome. And B.K. the Ruler is one of the.
B.K. the Ruler.
She's oh my goodness, man. I love her whole aesthetic.
You fuck with Tierra Whack?
Tierra Whack. Okay, so I like she's like more on the rap side. Like she has a lot of bars, right?
She does.
I do like what she's doing. I like seeing these different sides of women because
mainstream as it is, I love Doja.
She's actually, I have mixed feelings about her, but
a lot of people have mixed feelings about her because the little cancel culture shit that happened and all that other shit. But I personally fuck with her music. I can't knock the music.
Looking at just her music, right?
Yeah.
I would say that if she does not have a ghostwriter, she is very creative and she has her finger on the pulse.
I personally think that she writes her own shit.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, like don't quote me on that, but like I feel like she writes her own shit.
Yeah.
Just from what I've listened to, and I'd be like, oh yeah, she's a pop star.
She seems very tapped into her target audience.
And she is, and that's why when you said what's the difference between like people who are overseas touring and people that are local is people like Doja Cat. Like it's like you gotta be transferable to your artist. Like Meg Thee Stallion is like definitely for the culture. Like she's from Houston, but she also has a level of professionalism about her. Like you have to carry yourself a certain way. That's why women unfortunately, that's why women tend to go further once they get their foot in the door than men do, because they know how to compose themselves in different settings. Because as a woman, we have to do that. It's a survival tactic. So it's like we're just ingrained to do that from birth. Men are like, oh yeah, no, I'm that guy. Do what I want. Like
I mean, just look at Cardi B.
Your ego will be the death of you real quick.
Yes.
And Cardi B from the Bronx. Like, she a hood bitch too. Like, but she knows how to compose herself in different situations.
Exactly. And that's why she's at the level, and she's still climbing.
And she is.
So,
and will continue to do so.
Yeah. So I think it's, music for me has always inspired my mind. It sparks creativity for me. And so, like, when I listen to, like, Juice WRLD was a big part of music for me, and so when I listened to his music, he basically, in my mind, took me to a place that just is not here, right? So like, I constructed a whole world in my mind just because of the words that he said and the melodies that he used.
I love Juice. I almost wore a Juice shirt today.
Yeah. Man, R.I.P. Juice. But I want to see that from women, right? I get that from B.K. I get that from Hook. I get that from Rico Nasty. I want to see more of that because women have such a unique perspective that they can provide for people. I'm talking about women, men, and others.
It's dangerous game to play though.
Why'd you say that?
Because as a woman, like it's so easy for social ridicule to take place.
Yes.
Like it is. Like it's like you can have an opinion, but you have to be careful with your opinion. And we've seen that in history. It's like, damn, like you have an opinion. Women used to get put in fucking mental institutions for having an opinion.
Yeah.
Like and so now we don't, we can't legally do that, but we can socially blacklist people. Like, and we're good for it. Like we are so good for it. So it's like as a woman, like I could, for example, what was the I'm so out of the loop with like social media. What's the dude that everybody mad at because he a misogynist? What's his name?
There's been a lot of those.
It's like the main one. Like they was like I think he has a podcast or something. And like, what's his name?
Are you talking about Kevin Samuels?
Yeah, everybody was mad at him. yeah.
Oh, the more recent one.
Yeah,
Andrew Tate,
I was like, I've listened to some of their shit, and it's like there's occasionally like he'll say something that I agree with, and it's like. Now there's a lot of shit there's a lot of shit that he says that I don't agree with, but
Right.
like for example, like it's like for example, like I think I agree with him when he says like there's no reason that you should expect for a man to provide every aspect of living for you and you just want to sit on your ass, you can't cook, you can't do anything. And it's like, what are you providing? It's like, that's not a partnership. You want a parent. Those are two different things. Now, he takes it a little bit further, and I don't necessarily agree with the extremity behind it.
Right.
But it's like, okay, but for me to come out as a woman and to say something like that, all the women are like, oh my God, she's a misogynist, this stupid ass bitch is stuck in like the 19th century. And I'd be like, damn, I just had an opinion. Like, that's crazy. I just feel like women should contribute to the relationship.
Right, yeah.
Like, if you want to be respected, you should do something. Like, but no, like I've had friends that literally have stopped fucking with me because of opinions that I had.
And that's crazy, but I mean.
And it's like people that I fucked
necessary.
with tough. Like it's like we've been friends for years, and I said one thing to you, and you don't want to be associated with me anymore. That's insane. Like because we disagree. Like I said, you don't have to agree with someone to respect them.
Right.
But that's not the way the world functions.
Right.
That was the way the world functions. You'd see a lot more personality from women because right now we feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's like, you know that game in like the little Asian show that they had, the what's it called, where they was hopping across a little, what is it? I'm fucking drawing blank. The game. It was a game. I forget what it's called. Squid Games.
Yeah, Squid Games.
Fucking Squid Games. So like, you know, Squid Games where they're jumping across a little thing with the little glass panels. That's basically what women are doing. And it's like, okay, she did this is safe. She did this is safe.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go this way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like it's like we're just kind of throwing stones out there and seeing where they fucking fall and see what we can get away with because men can do whatever and it can be justified.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like we can't do that. Like me saying that I could go out today and I could make a song about getting some head from a nigga and there's gonna be someone that has something negative to say about it. I can make a song about being an independent, strong woman and there's going to be someone that has something to say about, oh, y'all's too damn independent, that's why y'all think y'all don't need a man now. Like, damn, I'm just... Shit, like I want a man, I just don't got one right now. That's what I'm talking about. Like you know, like it's just like we can't win. We can't win for losing. So it's like, damn, like women really do want to be able to speak their truth, but it's like we get ripped to shreds every time we open our mouth. So it's hard. It's hard for women. So like especially when you have a spotlight on you.
Yep.
So like for people like Meg, people like Nicki, Cardi, Rico, all of these people, it's like they got a spotlight on them. Everything they do is out there for display. They say one wrong sentence, their career could be gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, like you really got to be careful. That's why you don't hear a lot of different shit from females because it's a dangerous game they're playing. That and then you have to think of most women are signed to labels. There's not a lot of independent female artists. There's a lot of independent male artists, but independent female artists are very uncommon.
Right.
So it's like they more than likely 9 times out of 10 have a label, and the way labels run females is real different from how they run men.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of shit that they, even if they wanted to, they couldn't. Like fucking Taylor Swift's label has fucked her over.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, damn, if it could happen to Taylor Swift, America's little sweetheart, it can happen to any fucking body. Like, they don't care. They about they bread. It's a business at the end of the day.
It goes, it's like that damned if you do, damned if you don't.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they're going to follow that template to ride that bitch to the wheels fall off. Like, don't be trying to switch shit up because you got an idea, bitch. That's not what you signed for.
Right.
It's just, we don't have as much freedom as people think we do, but we get blamed for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, like, I can only do so much.
So to the audience out there, support your independent women artists.
Please.
Support male artists too. And
you can't get
others.
diversity if you don't support it.
Exactly.
We need money for it. Like, you know, hey, ideas cost money.
Yeah. So switching gears a little bit here too, as we come down to the close. So you talked that you liked anime, right?
Hi, I've been waiting for this one. Yes.
So what is your favorite anime? Give me 5 good ones.
5 good ones.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna say this before I give you my 5. I watch a lot of simpy ass anime. I fucking love my simpy ass anime because I know that I'm a single ass bitch. I like to look at love and romance and shit on TV. I love rom-coms. I love the little corny cheeseball, Oran Host Club, Maid,
I've seen
Sama.
that.
like she'll like have a fucking wallflower tattoo on my
Right, yeah.
arm. Like Star versus the Forces of Evil is not an anime, it's a cartoon, but it's like literally like one of my favorite fucking cartoons. Like, so outside of the simpy shit that I be watching, because like that's top tier for me. I don't care, like Black Butler, like all of that shit. But like some of my faves, I know it's mainstream as fuck, but I didn't watch a lot of the mainstream animes growing up. I watched the underground random ones that no one knows about. I read manga.
Yeah.
So like now that I'm an adult, I'm watching the mainstream ones because that's what's on my streaming sites. I'm watching Naruto right now. Watching Shippuden. I watched all of Naruto. I watched Naruto first.
Yeah.
I didn't skip the fillers because I'm a real bitch.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? There's a lot of them bitches. I'm in the Great Ninja War right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Like,
Good
yeah,
arc.
Madara's about to start fucking shit up.
Don't be spoiling it for people,
Like,
man.
spoiling how old Naruto is? That nigga got kids now. Like, the nigga Hokage. Like, you just saw my fucking Instagram.
Right.
You don't know that's your fault. Like, I still don't know what happens, but Great Ninja War is happening.
Right.
Like, that's where I'm at. I love Naruto. So I love Naruto to death. Like, my favorite Naruto characters, I have 3, and everybody be judging. Honorable mention to 1, but I got Hinata, I got Rock Lee, I got Naruto. Honorable mention Shikamaru, my fave. I love them. But I love me some Naruto. I love. Fucking Promised Neverland is great, but they fucked up the second season.
Yeah.
The second season was garbage. But the first one was fire.
Yeah, they heard me with that one.
I really like Bungo Stray Dogs is one of my faves. I love Bungo Stray Dogs. Dazai is one of my favorite anime characters of all time.
I started it, haven't finished it yet.
Finish it. Jujutsu Kaisen is a new one, but
It's
that
a great
bitch is-
one.
Yes! I
Great
love
one.
it.
Season 2 is on the way.
I love me some Gojo. I went to the movie theaters to watch the movie. I love it. Fucking Black Butler is an amazing anime. Violet Evergarden is a beautifully, beautifully animated one. There's a lot of them. Like I know I'm forgetting some, but Devilman Crybaby is what got me back into anime though.
Really?
Yeah, Devilman.
I don't know how you got through that first episode.
I ain't tripping off of it. Fun fact, people be watching like, whatever have you. Some people subscribe to like OnlyFans. Some people be on Pornhub. I watch hentai. I'm weird. Like, I love anime that much. That's all I watch is cartoons. Do what you do. Live your life. This metaverse shit is happening though, and it's kind of weird to watch. Like, I'm not really for the metaverse shit. I just like cartoons.
That's interesting. We might have to have you back on for another conversation outside of music. That's interesting.
You can always have me on for any. I love to talk. You always have me on for a conversation.
So, cool. So, you mentioned a lot of good animes. Definitely check out all those animes that you mentioned. Dude, did you ever listen to the intro music or the outro music at all from these animes?
I have it downloaded in my phone.
So you're one of those. All right. So fun fact too, I've actually listening to music on my own for the first time was all anime music.
Yes. Real as fuck. I love that.
Yeah.
It's good music.
It
I
is.
listen to a lot of alternative punk rock music anyway.
Right.
So for me, I was like, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's what I mean, like music is transferable. I don't know what the fuck they saying in a half
Sure
them songs,
don't, but I'll
the
sing
shit
it.
go hard.
And I'll sing it too. So
Let the Naruto intro come on.
yeah. So I'll be singing that. I'll be singing that one constantly, man. Oh my goodness.
Like, what the fuck? I'll be lit.
So what's interesting that I notice about these anime songs is that like, one, the melodies are so fire, like so fire. The message and the lyrics, when you translate them into English,
Beautiful.
they're so different than what is popular in America.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah.
But that's because in their culture, symbolism makes up a lot of stuff. They they paint a lot of pictures with inanimate objects and nature and a lot of different things. So it's like for them, it is symbolism. So like one thing could mean 15,000 things. One line can translate like 15 different ways in English. Like so it's like it means really whatever. It's so it's such a pure form of art because it's so vague that it's so transferable that it's gonna hit no matter what. So it's like, damn, no matter what's going on in your life, you can be rich or poor, any ethnicity, the words, the symbolism, that's why people now, like even in our culture, like we use symbolism in everything. Like instead of saying, like, I use metaphors for everything, like even in casual conversation.
I love metaphors. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that's how they make their music, and that's why it's so good.
So, when you look at the message that Eastern music is giving people, and you look at the message that Western music is giving people, what do you think about that?
And I can't speak entirely too much on that because I feel like my repertoire of other cultures' music isn't as broad as I'd like it to be yet. But based off of my current knowledge, if I were to give an opinion, I really feel like our music is mad hateful. We have a lot of like anger, and like I've noticed that like in a lot of other countries, like there's like might be shit going on, but the way that they treat people in their everyday, like they talk to their neighbors.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
They talk to their neighbors. They genuinely care about the well-being of the people in their community. Now, despite how corrupt one's government might be, I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about the actual people that live around them.
Yes.
Like, I know people that have lived next door to some neighbors for like a decade and have never spoken to them.
Nope, never spoken to them.
That's insane to me. Like that's crazy to me. Like I'm a very friendly person. I walk past someone on the street that I don't know and I'll say hello. I've literally gotten out of my car to help gotten out the car, pulled over on the side of the road to help someone change a tire that I didn't know because it just seems like the decent human being thing to do. I feel like that's not a common thing here. Overseas it is, and you see that in everything they do, in their music, in their artwork, and in their everyday life. So for me, it's just like I personally feel like we are some angry ass fucking people. Like there's no reason why we should be. We are one of the more better off countries.
Yes.
Globally speaking,
Yes.
And we have some of the most fucked up morals out of every country. And I just be like, yo, how are we here? How did we get here? It's like y'all gave us so much freedom, it corrupted us. How are we corrupted by freedom? That doesn't make any sense. And it's fucked up to think of, but it's like, because it's easier for people who don't care about people to excel. And because of that, they're not spending money and resources on helping others. They're only spending it on themselves because they're selfish. Those are the people that climb to the top the fastest. Those are the people that end up in charge, and they're not going to do anything but continue to benefit themselves. So it's not going back into the community, and then you have this resentful ass community that forms. And like that's what we live in right now. And because of how strict some other countries' government is, not saying that like I'm a communist or anything, but like it's prevented some of that from happening. Now there's definitely drawbacks from every government, but like every government has its issues, but like that's where we're at. I feel like that shows in our music because we make a lot of angry music. Like we make a lot of sad, hurtful, like disrespectful shit. And as far as other countries, like it's a lot of happiness, it's a lot of love. There's a lot of there's hurtful music in other countries too, but it's like it's more beautifully put out there rather than like spill a nigga brains out, like, you know, like.
I totally agree, you know, of what you're saying. Like, it is a lot of like angry music, and you know, it is because of that individualism. And there's nothing wrong with individualism. It's just when that becomes like, it's like, say
it's like curated narcissistic personality.
Exactly. Like say America was a person and their personality was entirely about being an individual. It's just like, it doesn't work. You know, in China, they say China has a 5,000 year history. America only has like 500 years.
Yeah.
It's like
when you go to like, if you go to a school and you go to like them prestigious ass schools that everybody want to go to that have so much culture, so much history, they've been around for a couple hundred years. As opposed to a school that maybe have just opened like a couple decades ago. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like there's no history there. Like the vibe is different, the feel is different, the
Right.
energy is different, the roots are different.
Right.
It's like, okay, like you have a conversation with a 13-year-old, it might be a good conversation, but you have a conversation with somebody who's 113, that's a lot of wisdom that they have to give
Yep.
you. Like, it's a big difference.
Yep.
So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with countries and music and all that great shit. It's,
Exactly, and I wish that we kind of got our principles and our morals aligned so that we can make better music, because it is a good time for music and there's a lot of different things going on. I just think personally that the culture that is coming from the music that is being pushed right now.
is that what you feel like? You feel like it's a good time for music?
Okay, so let me clarify. So like there are new sounds and there are people that can access making music more, and there's a lot of creativity going on. The message, the meaning, and the careers are.
Do you feel like that's a good thing though, that they have more access?
I think it is to a certain extent, because it's like you have the ability to test it out, try it, and you're learning other skills. Like if you're learning how to engineer or something like that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I was about to argue with you a little bit. I was like,
I mean, you can definitely disagree, because
I just know that people like. I feel like people have started treating making music like selling drugs. Like it's just a side hustle to clean their money. Like I'd be like, that's not what that is.
Oh, yeah,
like,
but
it's people that's passionate about this shit trying to do it, and he just letting any old Joe off the street pick up a mic talking about some I'm a rapper. I'd be like, nigga, you're not.
and you're totally right about that. The thing that like keeps that in check is that like once you
fans keep that shit in check. Honestly, like at the end of the day, they gonna tell you if you trash.
For sure, and even like people gonna find out real quick that like you're not making money for like
it's longevity.
Yes.
People who stick it out definitely are the
For
ones
sure.
that make it. Unless you just got drug money to push your shit.
And what I say is the average music career is probably like 2 to 3 years, 3 if you're lucky.
Damn, that's short lived. That's crazy. That's true.
Yeah. So it's just like
that's why I market myself the way I market myself. Though I'm not trying to be a 2-year shawty. I'm trying to be a 2-decade shawty. Like, I need it.
But like you care about what you're making.
Yeah.
You take the time. There are people that go, I don't write nothing. I just freestyle everything. It's like, bro, that's cool, but like you still need to write.
Shit like that drives me fucking nuts. And it drives engineer. I want you to know, all you freestylers out there, your engineer hates you. Your engineer hates you because you making these songs. They can't get multiple good takes because you just said some random shit. You don't know what you said. It don't sound. It's not in rhythm because you just saying shit. Start writing. Write your freestyles down before you come to the studio. You're stressing your engineers out.
Yeah, because all they gonna do is tax you. Oh, that's $250 an hour. That's all they're gonna do.
Bro, they gonna tax. People tax for shit they don't like doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna charge, and nigga want me to make some cover art of some shit that I love drawing. Yeah. You want me to make a cover art of some crazy out of pocket shit that I hate, that this shit is dumb as fuck? I'm gonna tax you because I don't want to make this shit. It's more work for me now. Like I want to do that shit.
Right. So
I'm sorry. I'm exposing the game. Let me shut up. Like.
Yeah, it's very true. So going back to this Western and Eastern music, is there anything Western artists can learn from Eastern artists?
Fuck yeah. We just talked about this earlier.
Right.
You can learn so much from broadening your horizons. Okay. Like I just said, symbolism is a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. The songs that you listen to that are timeless, the ones that exceed the bounds of where their expiration date should have hit, they go past that. They usually have really beautiful song structure, really beautiful like lyrics and symbolism, melodies, progressions, and those are all things that are curated over time. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, you just talked about China has like so much history as compared to like America, which is true. But like, because of that, they've been making music for so long. They still use traditional progressions in some of their shit, like traditional like phrases and things that have been redone over and over again. But they're so to the root. There's so much history and meaning behind it over time, and it just adds more meaning to it. So it's like it's a beautiful thing to build off of. I feel like we're so hung up on being original. If it's been done before, we just don't want to touch it because we feel like, oh, they just riding a nigga coattails. No, like you it's a beautiful thing to take something. That's why I love samples. Hip hop good for a sample. Like, love samples. But it's like, okay, like, I hate when people take a sample. Like, why are you taking an R&B sample and making a song about killing a nigga? Like,
Right.
for what?
Right.
And you didn't romanticize it at all. Like, there's a way you could have spun it and
Yeah.
you would have made it. That's what
Right.
separates a 2-month bop from a legendary classic.
Yes.
Like, you gotta really, like, people are just taking shit at face value right now, and you really, like, take the time to put some depth and you really think about, like, the structure of it, the theme of it, what's going into it, how is this gonna make people feel 10 years from now, how is this gonna translate. People aren't thinking like that.
Sure aren't.
So, but like in Western music, did I say that right? No,
Yeah.
in Eastern music,
Oh.
I feel like they do a much better job because, like, they have a different type of respect for their elders that's lost on us.
For sure.
Like,
Yes.
it's like you
Yes.
see it in like every other culture. It's like they respect the elderly, they respect their elders, they respect history, they respect the culture because it's what they came from. It's the reason that life, as they know it, exists the way it does.
Right.
And when you start trying to throw all that shit out the window, it's
Yep.
like you have nothing. You don't have any foundation anymore. It's like you want a house with no foundation, so you could just put wheels on that bitch and put it wherever you want to. That's not how life works.
All right.
Like, that's not how music works.
Right.
So I feel like if there's anything that we can take from Eastern music, it's the roots, it's the culture, it's the history. It's not being afraid to be okay with acknowledging that something helped shape you as a person. Like, give credit where credit is due. Like, and those are the artists that do that are the artists that blow the fuck up.
Right.
Chris Brown loved Michael Jackson. Like, love that man to death. Like, he be doing the fuck out of it. When he did his little tribute on BET, like, he gets a lot of his influence from him.
Generational
Like,
talent right there.
generational talent. And it's like, that's insane because he's like, despite, like, you know, his social drawbacks, like
Yeah.
media and shit that happened with Rihanna, all that great shit, but like, as a artist, that's a talented man.
Yep.
Like, his discography is ridiculously long.
Yep.
That nigga can dance. He's a pain. He just all types of shit. But like, because he ventures in so many different avenues and he understands the history and I hear people, I meet people from all walks of life that make music. Sometimes I hear niggas who like sing and they're like R&B singers and they don't listen to any classical R&B music.
Wow.
Like, I know some people that listen to R&B that don't know who Erykah Badu is.
That's
They don't know who
crazy.
Lauryn
That's
Hill
wild.
is. They don't know
That's
who Aretha Franklin is. They don't know who Whitney Houston is. They've never listened to their music. And I'm like, but you're an R&B singer. That's crazy that you want to
Right.
be an R&B singer. You haven't listened to any of the greats, the people that laid the groundwork for you.
Right.
There are female artists that be like, oh, I don't listen to Missy. I don't like Nicki. I've never listened to any of these old school artists. Like, I don't fuck with that. And I'd be like, that's why you suck.
Yeah.
To put it plainly, like, that's why you're garbage. You're literally, it's like science. When science progresses, it's because it's like you're taking the notes from niggas who spent hundreds of years learning this shit for you and you're applying it.
Yes.
When you just throw caution to the wind, you're like, fuck all of that shit, I'm gonna just do it my way. You're repeating steps that aren't necessary because
Yes.
someone's done the work for you.
Yes.
People are too proud to accept the help, and it's like you're hurting yourself.
Yes.
Your life is only so long. You can't achieve what took someone 10,000 years in 50.
Yeah.
That's just not how it works.
Right.
So that's, if there's anything that we could take from that, it's that.
Yes.
That shit just,
You're right. And
blows
it's
my mind.
important to remember, you know, music at this commercialized level has been around for 110 years. So you got a lot of catching up to do. You got a lot of a foundation and groundwork.
and it's
that's already been
constantly
laid.
changing. Like,
Yes.
definitely, like, acknowledge that it's changing, but like, don't forget what they did.
Exactly.
Because that shit is transferable. History repeats itself for a reason.
Right. So, Mac,
Yes.
this has been great. Please let people know where they can go listen to your music, what you have coming up, anything that you want to shout out.
I want y'all to go, you know, M.A.C.K, Making Art Create Knowledge, M.A.C.K, M.A.C.K. on all platforms. I got a mixtape that I dropped in June called Who Asked You. I got an album dropping in October. It'll probably be supposed to drop on the 1st. It'll probably drop on the 13th called Malice in Wonderland. It's gonna be some alternative shit. Couple of rap songs on there. I'm switching up the vibes. That being said, there are a lot of great things I have planned for y'all. I have some shows coming up. October 22nd, we'll be doing a show called Full Moon Fest. It's a festival of a bunch of local artists. It'll be in Fort Worth at the Ridgely Theater on the 22nd of October. Starts at 6 p.m. Be looking at my socials for the flyer. We will, that venue can fit up to 800 people. We're expected to pack that hoe out, and it's gonna be a movie. The first half of it is a show. The second half of it is a networking event / party. It's Halloween themed. So y'all come out. We have giveaways. We have raffles. We have vendors that'll be there selling their content, all that great stuff. So y'all come out, be a part of it. I'd love to see y'all there. We'll be doing consistent events. Y'all follow me on all my socials. At MacDaddyPuff. At MacDaddyPuff353 on Instagram. At MacDaddyPuff on everything else. Y'all follow me. But yeah,
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you, Mac. It's been great.
Thank you for having me.